I'm Sam.
And I'm Greg.
We're human beings. And we like movies.
We'll be doing reviews of brand new releases,
Old classics,
entire sagas,
and even TV shows and video games.
This is Reaction Time.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to episode...
Should we stare at the camera at the beginning?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 38 of Reaction Time Podcast. I'm Sam.
And I am also Craig. Yes, that worked this time.
We, as you've heard, are human beings, and we are going to talk about a movie today called Prisoners.
Prisoners. Not to be mistaken for Orange is the New Black.
Not the same.
Nope, not even close.
Very different. Like extremely different.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
one is about girls, one's about guys. That's the only difference, really.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of movies that Sam has not seen that Craig has
Honestly,
recommended.
yeah, that's like what this podcast really is at this point. This movie came out 10 years ago.
Yes.
In 2013. I'm not sure of the month.
I think it was September.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think this is the 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. You know, might as well look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Prisoners.
Either that or it was August.
I had never even heard of this movie, honestly. Even if you had mentioned it, I had never heard of this.
Really?
Until like 2 weeks ago. Do prisoners know their release date? About federal inmate records. Federal inmates by number. How to find an inmate's release date. Okay, let's do Prisoners movie. Release date. Here we go. September 20th, 2013.
Boom.
Which is really close to the day.
Yeah, it is.
Because this episode is releasing on
The
September 15th.
That's
so
right.
we're pretty close.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're
Pretty
5 days
close.
away.
Yeah. I don't know. It was premiered at the Telluride Film Festival, which makes me think that there's no reason I should have heard of this movie.
I saw it in theaters.
Well, yeah, but I didn't.
Oh, weird.
What I've seen in theaters matters more
Obviously.
than what you've seen in theaters.
Because you drove all the way to Boston to watch Ahsoka.
I tried,
Yeah.
and I did not make it. And I was really sad because that thing slapped.
Okay, Sam.
Dude, spoiler free, I mean, Prisoners is a thriller
Yeah.
through and through.
That's a dark thriller.
Dark thriller, beautiful twists and turns. And, I mean, great acting. Good, Good music.
Yeah.
Good story. Really good story.
Really
well
cool
thought
story.
out. Well
It flowed
planned.
well,
Just
yeah.
like,
It's
nice.
a vibe.
I liked this movie
It's
a lot.
a good movie.
I'd give this movie a 9.7.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do a 9.7.
Okay,
I was
cool,
between
cool.
9.7 and 9.8.
Oh, interesting.
And
I'm between a 9.6 and a 9.7.
Oh, okay. That's kind of funny.
Very interesting.
We met in the middle.
We did at 9.7.
Yes.
Here we are.
There's honestly only one issue that I have with this movie, but we'll get into that with spoilers.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal
Fantastic.
gave a great performance and very nuanced and very similar to what he's done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, different enough to feel like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. Kind of weird. He plays a cop and I don't know.
he
There's
was
something
so-
about... He was like a very edgy
He was.
cop. You know, he was like bad cop.
and he was
you know?
good.
He was good. He was really
Hugh
good.
Jackman.
And Hugh Jackman also, as always, name one thing Hugh Jackman's been bad in. That he's been bad in. Not that the movie's been bad,
X-Men
but that
Wolverines.
he's been bad at. Right?
But he was still good in that.
Exactly. Because there's some good movies that he's in that are like, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, nothing.
No.
But he was
great.
really top notch in
And
this,
his
though.
accent never slips out.
No.
It doesn't.
But
Something.
man, he gave you the feels in this movie.
Man. He just... Man, yeah, he was so good. And then Rhodey was in this
Yeah.
movie. The OG Rhodey. I
The
kept looking at
OG
that guy and I was
Rhodey.
like, where do I know him from? And I could not figure it out. And then
He had beef or something. I think that's why he left.
he just didn't get the money.
He didn't get the money,
wanted.
that's
I
what
think
it
that's
was.
what it came
Yeah.
down to, which he probably would have later.
Oh, yeah. Freaking Robert Downey Jr. went from 500,000 to 70 million.
Let this be a lesson, folks. Be patient for the bag because it's coming. Okay.
Yeah. The bag?
The bag? Yeah. You
Bag
ever
of
heard
money?
about getting a bag?
No.
Oh, yeah. Get like,
like where
in
you kidnap
showbiz and
somebody?
stuff. No, it's like if that person's getting paid, they're getting a bag.
Oh, okay.
So, Yeah.
I'm not with the times.
Yeah, no cap, dude.
Yeah,
the
straight
bag is
bussin'.
busting for real. My G. Okay. That's okay, fam. Okay.
What is straight bussin'?
Bussin'?
What is bussin'?
Bussin' comes from bustin'. Like it's actually I don't know where it comes from.
Okay.
And I know about Riz.
No.
Do you know what Riz is?
No.
Okay, so if you got Riz, right?
Like,
Riz is like when you can
put it
swoop.
on the Ritz.
No, that's Ritz. That's a cracker.
I know.
Riz is. Courtney told me we go on too many tangents, and here we are talking about Riz. Riz actually comes from charisma, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh.
So if you got Riz, it's like you're very
charisma.
charismatic.
Okay.
So anyway, you can swoon anybody, right?
Obviously.
Got that Riz.
Got the Riz.
Et
You got the
cetera.
bussin'.
You heard it here first, folks. Craig has the bussin'.
Got the bussin'.
Whatever it is, he has it.
That's a disease.
It's a Craig is out next week due to a heavy case of the bussin'. And he is bussin' hard for real. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. Rated R.
Mm-hmm.
For
Violence.
so many F-bombs. Violence.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, there's nothing
and
else.
not even a little mild gore.
Yes.
And more like a boxing movie type of gore
Yeah.
and less of heads flying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Yeah. Some people have different like things that they care about when they watch a movie. If they have like, if they're worried about certain things.
Yeah.
So it's like some people are totally fine with like tons of language,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But like nothing sexual or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
This was, if you're okay with language and really, I mean, what I would consider to be pretty mild gore.
Yeah.
This is a good watch.
There's some hard to look at scenes, but they're not
Yes.
super gory.
They're not. They're more just kind of sad.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
Nothing that's really going to make you wince because it was so gross or anything, but it'll
Yeah.
make you wince because you can feel for the person.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Jake
Totally
Gyllenhaal.
recommend. Obviously, as a 9.7.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yep.
It's 2.5 hours, but it's a good 2.5
Yeah.
hours.
It really doesn't drag.
No, it fills that time perfectly.
Perfectly.
I would not want it any shorter.
No.
I would only want it
Slightly longer.
1 minute longer.
Yep. Closure.
I'm going to give one spoiler for this movie.
Oh.
Out of context spoiler.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And it's just one word
Oh, no.
from 110 years ago. Titanic. That's my spoiler.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know.
That makes
You know,
sense.
if you've seen it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just like really good thriller,
So many
a
twists and
heartstrings
turns.
movie.
Yeah.
But
Did
no,
you cry?
Did I cry?
You always talk about you're an avid crier. So I'm
See,
always
I cried
curious.
watching Coco Gauff win the U.S. Open a few days ago. But did I cry at this movie?
Did she win?
She won,
Okay.
dude. And it
'Cause
was amazing.
When I stopped watching, the other lady was at 5 and she was
Yes.
only at 2.
Yeah, Sabalenka won the first set, but they played best out of 3.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Coco Gauff won the next 2 sets.
Cool.
It was incredible.
Tennis is so much fun to watch.
Tennis is so fun. Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah.
tennis. Did I cry during this movie? I think I did tear up
Okay.
in like kind of towards the middle.
Okay.
But I did not cry
Okay.
because there wasn't enough. Here's the thing. I need something to be like touching and calmly sad and heartbreaking
Mm-hmm,
with like a heartbreaking closure. Like, did I tell you I saw The Fault in Our Stars for the first time?
No, I've never seen that.
Dude, I cried.
Oh, no?
So bad at that movie. Yeah, I cannot do that movie. Say what you want about the book or the movie or whatever. I cried. But I don't think I like cried during this movie because, we'll talk about that. But
Okay.
yeah. You want to jump into spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't
And
think
give
there's
our-
really
our
anything
ratings?
else.
There's really not.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Go watch it.
It's a vibe.
And pay attention.
What kind of movie... Is there a movie that you'd kind of compare this to if somebody wanted to know if they like this movie?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
I would put it on... That's interesting because like my first thought was kind of Disturbia
Okay.
in a
yeah,
way,
yeah.
but that's more
like almost teenage feeling though.
and like more thriller. This is more of a, I guess, a little bit of a mystery
Yeah.
thriller type thing. It's not horror at all.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just like it's a detective. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
a
it kind
detective
of
thriller
is.
is what it is.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal is this cop, and he's trying to figure out. Basically, the summary of the story is Hugh Jackman's daughter goes missing, and Jake Gyllenhaal steps in to try and find her.
Yeah.
That's like the summary you'd see on IMDb or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're learning with him as he's trying to figure it out. And so you really...
And while Hugh Jackman's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so you really don't have like any more clues than they do.
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out. So it was really fun.
There's just new information. Like every scene, something else comes up and then when I won't say anything. Things happen and you learn things and it's fun.
And it's cool because I've seen this movie quite a few times and I still, this rewatching, I finally like understood all of it.
I'm excited for you to explain it to me because I think I understand everything, but I'm sure
so
there
much
are
stuff you
things
miss.
like interconnection things that I missed. The end, learning the kind of the final big thing is the most fun thing to learn.
Did you guess the ending at all?
No. Well, not.
Did you guess who at the ending?
I had a pretty heavy suspicion of who.
Okay.
But the who connected to the other who I did not get at all.
Yeah, that was a good twist.
That's not vague enough for you. Then I don't know what it
the
is.
who connected to the other who.
Yes.
In Whoville.
In Whoville. This is written by Dr. Seuss.
Jim Carrey comes in the end and kills everybody.
He's like, oh, well, alrighty then. Okay. Let's jump into spoilers.
Spoilers.
Let's do it. If you're going to go see the movie,
subscribe.
If
you're not going to go see the movie,
subscribe. And I guess listen on if you're not going to watch the movie. But go
watch the movie.
Watch this. This is another one that you don't.
This is like our previous one.
I mean, you don't really want to get this one spoiled.
No,
at the same time,
love it.
It'd still be so good.
Oh, I mean, this is like my 5th time watching it, and I still was loving it.
Yeah. But I recommend this one big
better
time.
Without the spoilers.
For sure.
If you're not going to watch it because you're like, I hate R-rated movies, all that kind of stuff, listen on because it's a cool story.
It is a cool story. Okay.
Alrighty. Let's
3,
do this.
2, 1,
go.
Okay. Let's jump into visuals.
Yeah,
let's just
do
start
visuals.
there. Okay.
You have like 5 notes.
I do have like 5 notes. I have 3, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 notes.
Oh, okay.
Total.
I have a lot more notes.
So visuals. The first thing I had, I don't know. There weren't so many things for some reason that stuck out at me enough to take a note of.
Okay.
But things overall are just, they sit in my brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain.
You were probably also very intrigued sometimes.
I think I was so engaged and like enveloped in this movie that I didn't want to pull my phone out.
I know, right?
So
you don't want to pause it. So
yeah, for sure. So, okay, my first visuals note, just at the beginning when they're at Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Because anyways, we'll explain a little bit if you're not going to watch the movie. But
yeah, we can kind of go through the story as a whole.
Hugh Jackman and his wife have 2 kids, and they have these friends who also have 2 kids. And they're having Thanksgiving dinners together. The 2 of the daughters from each family go out to play. There's this zoom in on this tree for literally no reason, and it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Really?
They just like zoom in on a tree, and I'm like, something's gonna happen. And then it just goes to the next scene, and I was like, that like, they zoomed in on a tree, and my heart's like, it's like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? So that was weird.
The tree just comes alive.
It was freaking genius because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought like a bullet was gonna go through the tree or someone was gonna pop out from behind it, but no, it was just literally just a tree.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not notice that for some reason.
Yep. And so then, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's the 2 daughters are younger, and then each family has an older son or daughter.
Yeah.
And so they're supposed to go with the 2 younger kids to the other people's house.
Basically, they're supposed to go outside with them so they
Yeah.
can play or go to the other house this little girl was trying to find her red whistle.
Yeah.
And so the older siblings were supposed to go with the younger siblings to go help them find them. But the younger siblings never told the older siblings that they were supposed to go with them.
No.
And they went outside and they vanished.
Which you don't even see.
You don't see them. You don't see them get taken or disappear or anything. All you know is there was an RV outside that they were kind of playing on, and there was somebody in it.
Yeah.
And then next thing they would go out to play again, and the RV's gone, and they're gone. So
it was so quick.
And then my next note's like way deep into this. So what do you have?
Yeah, mine kind of deep. My first note was the RV wreck when he just pulls back.
Yeah, that was so interesting to me because it's super intentional. He pulls his RV back because the cops are like after him, and he pulls back and then just drives it straight into a tree immediately.
But it looked really good.
It looked really good.
Yeah,
it's so good. I'm so confused by that. But I guess I was confused by that.
I think to me, I don't know for sure, but I think to me he just probably got spooked.
Yeah,
because you find out later that he really didn't do anything.
Right.
And so it wasn't like he was trying to fake it.
He did, but he wasn't kind of in control of it in a way.
Yeah.
Like he did.
Well, he wanted to just play with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Which at his age, he shouldn't have, but like he didn't know what he was doing.
No.
Right?
No.
So essentially there's this.
his whole life.
Yeah. Essentially there's this adult man who is the guy who technically, I guess, kidnaps the girls, but he just wants to take them for a ride in his RV. When you meet this character, he seems like maybe he's mentally handicapped or something like that, because he's probably in his 20s, maybe 30s, 20s or 30s.
Because he was taken when he was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
And
so,
then basically
big spoiler,
just drugged the whole time.
You find out later that he was kidnapped by the same family who's kidnapping these little girls, and he was basically drugged and semi-mind controlled
him
forever.
much.
Yeah, and had close to no control over what he was doing.
Yeah.
So, and then like when what's his name? Detective Loki.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's character. When he's interrogating him, and you can just like, there's so much fear in his face, but at the same time, so much calmness.
When he's like had him pressed up against the wall.
And the scared guys, what was his name? Alex?
Yeah, Alex, yeah.
Alex's face, like, I don't know, he just acts like he doesn't know anything that's going on. And you're like, he obviously does, right? Because he's giving me the same vibes as like the Riddler, kind of, from the Batman.
He is the Riddler.
I guess so. Wait, is he the same?
He's the same actor.
Oh my gosh, that's why. Oh, it makes so much sense.
It's the same actor, yeah.
I was like, man, that guy looks familiar. And
Yeah.
he's giving me the vibes of the Riddler.
You knew
There
why.
you freaking go.
Yep,
There it is.
Riddler. He's so good.
He is so good.
Especially at playing like super weird characters.
Yeah, super weird. Okay, wow, that makes so much. That's probably why he got cast as the Riddler.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
They saw him in this and they were like, ooh.
Anyway, so yeah, he gives Riddler vibes. Like kind of just like insane, but also
somewhat in control.
Mentally immature.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just very, very interesting.
Oh, just the body language in that whole scene when Jake Gyllenhaal is interrogating him is so uneasy and just it feels so weird and it's perfect.
So basically they don't find enough evidence on this guy, so they have to let him go. Hugh Jackman's super upset by it, so he basically goes to the police station right as Alex is getting released, and he assaults him basically. And he pins him to the ground. He's like, "Where are my daughters?" And without anybody else hearing, Alex says, "They didn't cry until I let them go." And I was like, oh my gosh, he did it. It's him. Either he knows what he's doing and he's faking everything, or he's split personality or something like that.
Yeah.
And then later when you find out what that line means, oh, it's so good. Okay, so anyway. So eventually Hugh Jackman kidnaps him.
Yep.
Beats the living hell out of him in a bathroom in this old place that Hugh Jackman's character owns.
His face makeup, oh my gosh, is good.
It's so good.
Especially the second time. Because the first time you see him, it's just kind of like bloody mouth. And then the second time, he's like freaking a balloon.
Yeah. Oh, it's... It's really good. That's the one thing that's kind of horrifying.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
horrifying
hard.
to look at, but it is hard to look at for
Especially
sure.
because I mean, he did say that, so you're not just like, oh, he's beating him for no reason. You know he's the bad guy, but it's still like horrible to watch.
Yeah,
because it's so real.
Oh yeah,
this isn't like a superhero movie or even just like it doesn't feel like something fake. It feels so real. It's this guy who you imagine would never have done this, but he wants to find his daughter so bad that he just starts beating on him.
For sure. And so then, I mean, he's beating on him and then he grabs a hammer and I was like, he's going to like break this guy's face in all the way. And he doesn't end up actually hitting Alex with the hammer. He gets very close.
Yeah, he puts his hand on the sink.
Yeah.
And he's about to
I thought he was for sure gonna hit his hand.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't.
No, he just hit
I'm bummed by it, but at the same time I'm glad he didn't after I found everything out at the end.
Yeah.
So then he says, I can't basically beat on him anymore without killing him.
Yeah.
So we have to find a new way. And he builds this wooden cage around the shower, puts Alex in it. And what does he say about the water? It basically, he's like, we don't have control over it.
Yeah, he just rigged it.
And so it only comes
either
freezing
scalding
cold
hot
or scalding
freezing
hot.
cold. Yeah.
And that was my next visual note. The shots of Alex in the shower where it's
so
just
good.
the little
The
hole
one
of
eye.
light in the one eye. Just you literally see like this much.
It's just an eye. And his eye
So
like
good.
progressively gets like even more red and
Yeah.
stuff too.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that shot.
It's a beautiful shot because it's like the entire screen is black.
Yeah.
And just right in the center is like this much
Little teeny light.
of just
in that.
light. And it's that really good.
Yeah.
Really good shot choice. And then my only other note really that I noticed is Jake Gyllenhaal is wearing a ring that has the Freemason symbol on it, which I thought was really interesting.
Oh, really?
I don't know a ton about the Freemasons.
Yeah.
I recently like Googled what it is, and it's basically like a brotherhood that's technically devoted to like doing good, and that's like there's a very vague description of what it is. But I just thought that was interesting because that's like a group that people always talk about, but like I don't know if anybody really knows anything about it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's an interesting choice because obviously intentional. Or Jake Gyllenhaal is really a Freemason and just accidentally had his ring on. One of the two is true, right? Because they wouldn't just be like, "Oh, Freemason ring, here you go, put that on," right? Like it has
to be a meaning to it.
It obviously is probably just something to say like, "Hey, if you know anything about the Freemasons."
You know he's doing
you know
good.
something about this character,
Yeah.
right? So I thought that was an interesting choice. And then on top of that, just like, costume design was great. Shot choices were great. And makeup and prosthetics and all that kind of stuff was great too. And I really loved the shots. I didn't write this down, but I can remember. This movie I remember actually really well. At one point, Detective Loki is following, what's Hugh Jackman's? Keller. Hugh Jackman's character's name is Keller. Detective Loki is following Keller to this house pretty much, and there's shots from inside his car.
Yeah, with the
and it's
windshield
raining a
and
ton,
stuff.
and his windshield wiper isn't going as much as you'd normally would have it, which was like so nice because it was like basically your entire screen would like blur up with rain, and then it'd wipe.
Yeah.
And then it'd rain again, and so it was like not as quick as
And it was
normally would be.
cool.
And it was something about that was really cool because it almost added extra mystery for no reason. On top of it, but in a good way.
And then when he's driving the daughter, it's raining, but it does the same thing where it does a shot choice from inside.
Yeah.
But he has gotten hit, and so there's like blood
so
and stuff.
bloody.
And so he's kind of like, blood's falling on his face, but he's trying to pay attention, and it's raining, so the windshield wipers are going, but then he's fogging up, and so you're like, you can't see, so obviously he can't see, and you're just like, what is gonna happen?
I know.
Like,
So good. Okay, you have more notes?
yeah, so
I'm done with mine, by the way, so
okay.
send it.
Alex choking the dog. That was horrible.
Dude, what the heck?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. At this point, you think it's him, right? You think it's Alex. And then Hugh Jackman's like kind of spying on him and following him. Alex walks out of his house with a dog on a leash.
He looks at the car.
He just looks at the car. He's standing there and just lifts his dog up and he's like choking the dog and like hanging the dog
For like
just in
30
midair
seconds.
for so long. And then he just puts the dog down and then
He's like, okay, let's go.
Let's go. It's so creepy and weird. So weird. And you're like, that's him. That's for sure him.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not him.
No. I don't know if you noticed this. One of the punches was off.
Yes. I was going to talk about that in the sound, but also visual. It's an audio visual issue.
Yeah, because he like punches, but his face doesn't move quite with the punch.
Yeah.
And then I think the sound was off too.
I think it was hand,
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
It was a little slow, and I was like,
off. That's honestly like the one visual thing.
And then the next punch was perfect.
Yeah,
which was really funny.
And even the one before it was perfect.
Yeah.
So
I was interested to see if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
My other note. So this is kind of big and spoiler things, but at this house, there's this parked car that basically they move this car and there's a little hole underneath. So me seeing it as many times as I've seen it, there are a lot of shots where they focus on that car for no reason until you know why they're focusing on it. But it's really cool because they kind of they'll just stay on this car.
Well, and they introduce it relatively early.
Yeah.
She's like, you, and she even asks,
Yeah,
you want to buy the car?
Yeah.
She crazy, bro.
She's insane.
She crazy.
Has one eye in the shower, and then freaking, is it Bobby, the other kid, freaking shooting himself in the interrogation thing.
Yep,
that was crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was one of the most realistic things of that nature I have ever seen.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Because so basically, what
I thought they were gonna freaking shy away from it, and it's just like camera focus on them, and then it was crazy.
So the husband and the wife that have been kidnapping all these kids, they kidnapped the one, Alex, and then they also kidnapped, I think his name was Bobby Taylor or Bob Taylor.
That sounds right.
I think that's what it was. And they kidnapped him. He was, I'm assuming, also as much drugged and all that other kind of stuff, but he's a little bit more cohesive in terms of certain things. So they finally catch him and they bring him into the interrogation room, and Jake Gyllenhaal goes in because he just can't take it anymore because he's just drawing this maze, and he's basically saying the maze leads to the bodies, right?
Yeah.
So he's
You'll find them in the maze.
You'll find them in the maze, yeah. So he starts like punching on him and everything, and these two guards come up and they pull him off, but as they're doing it, he grabs his gun. Yeah. And it was just like super intense.
Oh, so intense. Whose gun does he grab? Does he grab an officer's gun, or does he grab
Jake Gyllenhaal?
I think he grabbed Detective Loki's gun.
And then he pulls out his gun, and they're all like, put the gun down, and he
lifts it up to his head.
Yeah.
And then he puts it in his mouth, and you're like, no way. And then and it's like, well, and because at this point too, you're like, it's Alex. And then they introduce Bobby, and he's like at the vigil, and then he runs from Detective Loki.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's this guy. And he's like, you find out this guy's been buying clothes.
And he's been keeping snakes in like these containers.
All this different weird stuff.
Yeah.
He tries to escape the detective when he shows up to his house. All this stuff. And you're like, oh, it's this guy. And then this guy kills himself. And then you click the button on the TV and you realize you're halfway through the movie.
I know.
And you're like, what is happening? Because there's no way then the rest of it's just like, oh, darn, the guy who did it killed himself.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, who are the other suspects?
Yeah.
And then you start to think that maybe it was Hugh Jackman and that he has a split personality. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. You just don't know.
You just don't know. You have no idea. So, do you have more?
No, that was my visual notes. What are you going to give visuals?
Also,
yeah.
The corpse in the priest basement, solid.
Oh, yeah.
Super solid.
Do you know who that was?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Maybe. It was the husband.
Yeah, it was the husband.
Of the.
I didn't catch that.
I was going to say the husband of the wife.
I didn't catch that the first
Oh, you didn't?
time. No.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Because I was like, I remembered everything from this movie, but it had been long enough that I knew it happened, but they went to the priest thing, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember this, but what does this have to do with the story?
Yeah.
I thought it was just some side story, and then I never pieced together that it was the freaking dad.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what would you give visuals?
I don't know. Pretty high. I'm going to give it a 194.
Okay.
195.
I'm going to give it a 197.
Okay.
I'm giving bonus points because they used real snakes.
Oh, they did.
Because the first time I saw the snake, I was like, oh, CGI snake. And then I was like, wait, no, that's not a CGI snake. That's a real snake. And then it was all real snakes. And I was like, yes, I love real snakes. You can really tell a CGI snake.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost more so for some reason than any other animal.
I think it's just their skin.
Yeah. It's the CGI
texture
snakes
and reflection.
and
stuff.
CGI yellow spotted lizards. Those are the two that are the easiest to spot. So bonus points for that really, really good prosthetic.
Great shot choices.
Great shot choices. I mean, those are my main
thing's just the punch.
visuals thing. Yeah, like the punch. Yeah, I mean, 197 almost feels low.
I know, right? I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, do I
I'll
take
just keep
5
it
points off for a punch?
for a punch?
It was a bad punch.
It was a bad punch.
But
Yeah.
I guess there were some really cool. I don't know. They were all great. Like him in the shower and the windshield wipers and stuff. But 195, that's not like that's bad.
No. Okay, so story. Okay, this is how I figured it. It was how I figured out who he was. Well, let me take you through my progression.
Okay, do it.
Okay, so I think it's Alex, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, kind of like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's super good at this and does it professionally. And then you're like, it's probably not because it's this Bobby guy now, right? And you're like, it's definitely Bobby. You go into his house, you find the trunks full of like bloody children's clothes, which is like evidence number one.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right? The snakes.
But then no
like,
bodies.
Why the snakes? But no bodies.
Yeah.
No bodies. And they find the mannequins.
They find the mannequin bodies.
They find mannequin bodies buried in his yard, which is like creepy thing number 7,
100%.
right? Because you're like, if you got mannequins buried in your yard. And then he dies.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, what? And then I start to think back to the priest. So I'm like, okay, this priest has this dead guy in his basement.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he killed him because he said he kidnapped 16 children.
And he was laughing about it.
He was laughing
smiling.
about it. And so he locked him in his basement, tied him up, and just left him there to die.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, who is that guy? Okay. So then later, I had kind of forgotten about this because I watched this movie over the course of
Is it just 2 days?
maybe 2 days or maybe it was 3. I watched it like in several segments because I was like watching 10 minutes of it on a break, right? So it's like, this is
a horrible way to watch it.
So I get to the point, that's terrible. I haven't even watched it again. But so I get to Bobby Taylor and I'm like, okay, hold on. Somebody said something about kidnapping 16 kids. Was it this guy? But then who's the dead guy in the basement? Did he say he knew a guy? I can't remember. But then I remembered towards the end, I was like, okay, no. He said he was kidnapping kids. Mm-hmm. And then I go back to the aunt and I'm like, where's her husband? Probably dead.
You pieced that.
I started to piece it together.
Wow.
Now I didn't fully piece together that she had done it for sure.
No.
Until Hugh Jackman showed up at her house. Right. And then they make it obvious. Right. But I never, ever once expected that she had kidnapped Alex and he wasn't actually her nephew. Because this entire movie, she's like, this is my nephew, Alex.
Yeah.
He's, he was in he had an accident with snakes or something. Mm-hmm. And then you realize the snakes are like there to probably control him. And it's like, oh my gosh.
It's so horrible.
Just so many details that they piece together beautifully.
Well, and one of the things I didn't ever catch on to is Alex is the kid that's taken from that one lady that Detective Loki goes and talks to.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What lady? Hold on.
Remember the lady that's playing the video? And she was like, we've never been able to...
video.
That's Alex.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because at the end it shows a newspaper and says he's reunited for the first time in 20 years or whatever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I never pieced that together.
Oh,
that crazy?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I don't know if there was anything about Bobby Taylor. I think he was just somebody.
Yeah.
But...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Isn't that cool?
Okay. They really just like detailed the crap out of this movie.
So much.
And Bobby Taylor he keeps trying these mazes, right? And then you later discover that the corpse in the priest's basement was wearing a necklace with a maze on it.
Which you do see.
You do see, but you don't know.
You don't know.
You have no idea.
But that's when I pieced it together that it was the dad, because for some reason I never realized that. And then he was wearing the maze thing, and I was like, Wait, what?
It's so good.
Because, yeah, the aunt just says that he just went missing and he never came back.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't even know that the priest had locked him up and basically killed him.
This movie is like, I almost want to say it's plot hole-less. But I do have a question.
Okay, yeah. I don't really think there's any plot holes.
Not even plot holes, but like it's not even the lack of plot holes, but almost the abundance of interconnectivity is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That was the smartest sentence I've ever said.
That was really smart.
Thank you.
The abundance of interconnectivity
was nothing short of predominant, as Michael Scott would say. Okay, here's my question real quick.
Yeah.
So the main story basically is this couple, up until he died in a basement, this couple was kidnapping kids to wage a war against God. And their war, basically what they were doing is they were making kids disappear.
Yep.
And that was their war against God.
Yeah.
Why? I guess I kind of know the answer. Why are they not just killing the kids? Is it just so that they could control them and make them kidnap other
people? But what happened to all the kids? I don't even think they adopted 2 of them. I think they killed the rest.
Most of them died, right?
Yeah.
So why did they not just kill the daughters? That's my only question. If she's like, we're making kids disappear, then why not just kill them? Because they like keep them there and drug them. But what's the purpose of that? You know, which I guess people do that in real life.
Yeah, and they didn't say what they did to the other 16 kids.
Right.
They could have done the same thing, and if they were good enough, they could have made it out, type of thing, and maybe that would have been okay.
Yeah.
Or the other thing that I was thinking of, this could have been, I think probably what it was, why they just drugged them and kept them alive, is because Bobby Taylor had read that Invisible Man book, and he wanted to become the Invisible Man. Right. Because the one little teeny flashback you get of the other girl is she wakes up and there's a paper that says, solve the maze to get out.
Solve every maze in the book.
Yeah.
And they say the last maze is unsolvable.
Right. So I think he was she was probably just allowing him to have his fun, probably. Yeah. And then, because obviously she tries to kill him at the end.
Right.
So it might have just been to have him live out his fantasy of becoming the Invisible Man or something like that.
That's fair. Oh. Did they ever explain why she was wanting to wage a war on God? I don't feel like I ever caught that.
She did say when she was talking to Hugh Jackman, their reasoning why, and I can't fully remember.
And the priest mentioned something about it too when he's talking to the detective. He says they were trying to wage a war on God and do something blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they were using kids for a certain reason.
Yeah.
I can't fully remember what it was. But so there was 2 really cool things that I wrote down for the story that I really liked that I felt was different than most movies. The first one being before Hugh Jackman left, when I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if he was going to just go out in the woods and look, or if it was to go meet Alex Taylor when he was getting released. But he stopped to reassure his son, and like, everything's going to be okay. You've got this. You got to be the man of the house. I believe in you. Just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where I feel like most movies, it's the dad just forgets about everything and is just like, you need to man up and do better and everything like that. So I like that it was a little bit different. And then the other thing that I thought was cool, not cool, is horrible, but I liked that the wife, Viola Davis, of the other family was the one that stopped the husband from letting him out.
Oh,
It wasn't him.
Yeah.
It just felt so much more real with that. It wasn't, they're 2 guys and they're being horrible.
Yeah.
It was, we're not going to affiliate with it, but I don't want him to let him go because I do want him to do what he needs to do to find our kids.
Oh, dude, they just thought of it. This is so good. Okay, and so there were also just times, I can't pinpoint the exact moment, but there's a time where I definitely thought it was Hugh Jackman for maybe a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Because they were like, do you know where you... I can't remember if they asked if he knew where he was or something like that.
Jake Gyllenhaal, when he's in the car, he's asking him, do you know where you were?
Yeah.
Or what were you doing the night before? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And he said that he was passed out drunk or something like that. Or
I don't know. And then I was like, oh my gosh, does Hugh Jackman have split personality and has no idea that he's done it?
Yeah, because he's like hasn't gotten any sleep.
Yeah.
He started drinking.
Uh-huh.
So you're like...
oh my gosh, you just start to not know at all. And it's great because it's just like suspect after suspect after suspect. Because I went through at least 3 suspects before we even got to the aunt.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, that's great.
Yeah, so good.
It's great writing. Also, so that line, they didn't cry until I left them. Mm-hmm. They didn't cry until he left them with the aunt.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You don't know. You think he's psycho. And then he says that. And
because they were having fun with him.
Yeah.
And they didn't cry until he left him with the aunt. The aunt's insane.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Him singing Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
Creepy AF after choking the dog.
Because the girls are singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Yep.
And then like during Thanksgiving, right? And then later he starts to sing it and Hugh Jackman's like, oh my gosh, it's this guy for sure.
Yeah.
They just, man, they piece this together so good. I love it.
And the other thing that was so cool, so the other friend, not Hugh Jackman's daughter, she makes it out. Mm-hmm. And they find her. They bring her to the hospital.
That's when I thought it was him for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it when she said you were there?
She says, you were there.
Yeah.
The daughter says it to Hugh Jackman. She says, get away from me. You were there.
Yeah. Do you know why she said that?
No, tell me. Please tell me.
Okay, this is the coolest thing.
Okay, yes.
He had went to the aunt's house to talk to her, and that's when she escaped because he literally is coming home, and he gets home, and that's when the wife's like, they found her. We need to go to the hospital. She thought he was there because she was torturing him. He was just there to talk to the aunt. Isn't that crazy? So that's why he goes and runs to the aunt's house with all the tools because he was like, oh my gosh, I was at the aunt's house right before this happened. It's the aunt. That crazy?
I couldn't figure out how he figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta. You guys, this is a pretty elite movie.
It's a pretty legit movie.
Dude,
that's it.
Oh my gosh, that just made everything so much
it's
better.
so good.
I'm so happy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. He was at the house when she escaped.
That is great.
That crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
You have any other notes? I got one more at the very end.
Okay, yeah. My only other note, well, I have a thing about the end too. My only other note was the only trope I would say about this movie was when he's going through the tour. Hugh Jackman's giving Loki the tour, and he gets a phone call before he's about to get to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
He's a detective. He gets called all the time.
Here's the thing. They did the rest of the movie so well that it almost, because like sometimes if they do that in a movie, you can tell that they're about to do that, right?
Yeah.
And because this one, like, there was no way for me to think that he was going to find him and not be okay with it. You know what I mean? Because there was always the potential that he goes in there, he finds him, and he's like, what's this? Why is he here?
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman's like, I know he did it. And you're like, and Jake Gyllenhaal's like, I think so too.
Yeah,
and then they like, and you have no way of knowing what he's about to do. So it almost doesn't matter that you're like, oh, he's going to get a phone call or whatever.
Because that was my wife. She was like, I don't remember. Does Jake Gyllenhaal help Hugh Jackman torture him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he might as well.
Yeah.
So
the only thing, why I know that he told Alex before he left, if you scream, I'll turn it on. But why didn't he scream? I guess he probably didn't know exactly who
and he was also
with.
Probably still afraid of Detective Loki if he knew that that's who was there.
Yeah, that's true.
Did he even and did Alex even know who was there? Because they hardly even said anything.
Yeah,
so
just been his voice.
yeah, there's no way of him not knowing. Or there's no way for him to know that that's not like the friend or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, when he would turn the shower on, it was so sad. Now, when you look back at everything, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. And Hugh Jackman for sure should go to jail.
100%.
Okay.
Quick question.
Okay.
Is he a bad person?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He's a passionate person.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you have done the same thing?
I don't know.
I would not have. I don't think I'd have the guts,
Yeah.
you know?
That would be my only thing. But at the same time, if it had played out where this person had said to you, they didn't cry until I left
Oh
them,
gosh. I know. That's the hard thing.
would you not?
But it's hard because then the cops say they found zero evidence of struggle in the RV.
I know, but you
all that
know
kind of
what you
stuff.
heard.
Yeah. No, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's tough.
That's tough.
But torture like that? I don't think I could do that.
I don't know if I could either.
That's kind of crazy. I don't think he's a bad person though. He's just a really intense person. Like, even from the beginning of the movie, he's just a really, really intense person.
He wanted his daughter.
Yeah. Give me Taken vibes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this movie was kind of like,
Yeah,
except
yeah.
for less action and more mystery.
More mystery. Yeah.
Like way less action.
And less particular set of skills.
Jake Gyllenhaal had a
He had
no.
a particular
It wasn't
set of
even that.
skills.
I mean, yeah. And then my last thing, just the Titanic whistle,
Yeah.
baby. You know
Yeah.
that movie by Jim, Fight Me Jim, where Kate, whatever Buckets is, blows the whistle to be saved at the end. That's exactly what Hugh Jackman does. He's cold and he's in a hole
yeah.
and he's disappearing. And Jake Gyllenhaal's just about to walk away and he finds the red whistle. But wait, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
It's not the red whistle.
No,
right?
it is the red whistle.
How did it get there?
They were in the hole.
Yeah, but she had lost her red whistle 18 days before that.
But they found it.
Did they?
Yeah, remember, because he's asleep. I know it's like a hallucination, but he's asleep and the daughter talks to him and says, I found the red whistle.
I didn't think that was real.
Well, I don't think it's real, but I think she found the red whistle.
Oh, and then she
at
had
the
it with
house, and then she had it with her. Because
Okay.
remember, she says she puts the girls in there when all the people were coming around, and I think she dropped her red whistle in there, which then saves.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
my thing about the ending in Don't Worry, Darling, we had talked about that there was a movie at the end that I thought was really dumb.
Is it this?
I hated this ending.
I didn't like it either. I would have rather him
Give me
found him.
2 seconds of him just going to him. And that's
Honestly,
it.
give me 30 seconds less or 30 seconds more.
Yeah.
Give me no whistle. Or something where he maybe thinks he hears a whistle. Like, even if
Well, that's
you...
what he did.
No, because you hear it as the audience. But if you don't hear it as the audience and you just see him get a look on his face, like, did I just hear something? And then cut it, great.
That's
right?
true.
Or go over, push the car away, and
Yeah.
find Hugh Jackman.
That's
Give
what
me
I
one
want.
of the two.
That's what
so
I wanted,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get that. I wasn't, it didn't satisfy me. Because there's like 2 different satisfactions, right? There's the one where you're like, it's almost the anti-satisfaction where it's like, oh my gosh, I need more. I need to know, did he find him?
Yeah.
Or there's the satisfaction of him finding it. Because otherwise, pretty much a happy story, right?
Yeah.
Except for Bobby blowing his brains out.
Oh my gosh.
Everything else is a happy story because the kids are safe and returned to their parents. Even the adult who got kidnapped forever ago reunites with his mom.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman probably goes to jail. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, it's a happy story. Jake Gyllenhaal's still 25 for 25 on his cases or whatever, right? And so it's like, yeah, give me one or the other.
Yeah.
But
Because Inception ending is like cream of the crop.
that's, yeah.
It's
and
perfect.
Yeah,
because it's
Inception
like,
ending's great.
oh my gosh. Because again, you don't know what it is.
Right.
This one, you know he heard the whistle.
Yeah.
So you know he's going to find him. So then just show it.
Mm-hmm.
Just show him finding him, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Is that all your notes?
Yeah.
What is your score on story?
199.
Dang, bro, for real?
Yeah.
That's high.
Just because of the ending. I'm going to take 1 point
taking 1
off
point
for
off
the
the
ending.
ending.
But what wasn't perfect about the story?
Yeah, gosh. I'm going to give it a 198
Okay.
because I'm still not 1 point off for the whistle.
Yeah.
and 1 point off because I'm still not super convinced about a couple things with the kidnappings, like why exactly were they doing it and why did they kill some and not kill others?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason, but I mean,
she talks
I was
about
a little lost.
She talks about Alex, that they were feeling lonely from the loss of their child,
right.
so they adopted him.
Yeah.
So
more about why did they just keep the daughters around?
yeah, I think that was just because of Bobby.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to do his thing.
Yeah.
So
we haven't even talked about Jake Gyllenhaal getting shot in the head yet.
Oh, I know.
He got shot in the head and then drove a car. That was a great scene.
That was an incredible scene.
Like a really, really good scene. Because I honestly had no idea what was going to happen.
No. Because she's sitting there foaming at the mouth.
She's foaming at the mouth.
Seat.
He like can't see because he's like losing so much blood.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know because you can get shot in the head and still live.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it grazed.
It looked like it grazed.
Or because it like, but
it was
if
a
it
good
grazed,
chunk.
it was deep.
Yeah.
So he either got shot in the head or it grazed his head really, really bad. But he's like vision's blurring. And he makes it all the way there, dude. The one of the shots I love the most, and I always love a shot like this, is when he's driving the car through traffic. Just the angle of that shot, I think it's just the clarity of it. So I don't know if you remember it. Basically, it was basically like a crane shot. Not a crane shot, but
like him
a
swerving.
little above the car and just behind it. And you see the whole car. I don't know. There's something really, really satisfying about being not attached to the car, but not filming it from the side. Like filming it perfectly from the back. It's really well framed. I just think it's a great,
all the traffic and everything. And him swerving, like it all looked really good.
And the shot reminds me a lot of quite a few shots from the Dark Knight trilogy. Something about it just was like very similar to how they film Batman on his bike or in the Batmobile or something.
The Batmobile,
stuff
so
like that.
good. Yeah.
So good. So very, very similar shot choice, which I don't know. There's something about it that just looks really, really good. So that whole scene at the end was great. Also.
That was really good. And her just like when he comes in and she's just like,
she doesn't have anything to say.
No, she's just like, make sure they cremate me or something like that.
Oh,
and
that girl.
Just pulls it out and just like no hesitation or anything.
Yeah. Oh, man, brilliant.
It was so good.
Okay.
All right.
Acting. I have one note.
Okay.
Just one. Well, first of all, I thought everybody was great.
Yeah.
Even the aunt who had, I think, the most potential of not being good, just because a lot of times characters like that are like they act too much like Yzma.
Yeah.
Basically is what it comes down to, is like way overact evil and stuff. She was like kind of a chill evil, but just a little maniacal. So I think everybody was phenomenal. Even the kids were great. Every kid was good.
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Jackman. I mean, everybody. Literally everybody was great.
So
the only note I have is Jake Gyllenhaal's blinking.
Yeah, eye twitch is what I have.
It's not a twitch. It's a people blink. Yeah. Some people blink very hard. Okay, go ahead.
He does that in a lot of movies.
Does he really?
Yeah. There's another one that I want you to watch really badly called Nightcrawler. And you'll see he does that in that.
But I don't think he blinks like that.
See, me and Lindsay were talking about, we wondered if it was a tick.
Keep talking. I'm going to look up just like without any sound. I'm just going to look up an interview with him because I'm curious to see if he blinks like that. Because some people just blink like that. Well, I mean, he did it the entire movie.
You could probably put like Jake Gyllenhaal, like eye blinking tick or something like that. And you would probably be able to find something. Because we were thinking in a good amount of his movies that he did that. So we just didn't know if it was a tick or something like that where he just has to keep blinking. But man,
when I type it, all I did was Jake Gyllenhaal blink into Google. Everything's about prisoners, which makes me think it's not just him. It says Detective Loki has a conspicuous blinking tick. It wasn't in the script. He came up with it by himself and persuaded the director.
That's cool. It worked.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if this is true, so if you want to come at me in the comments, that's totally fine, because I don't want to speak out of turn with this. I do notice, though, just with working with a lot of people with autism, it's very common. And autism is such a broad spectrum that it's, and he's such a good detective that it almost makes me think that his character, maybe he decided, oh, my character is like really slightly autistic.
Or even had maybe a slight bit of Tourette's or something.
Yeah, something like that. Tick. And maybe that tick is kind of his way of showing like, hey, because I have this tick, I also have this internal ability. Because generally, people with autism or other things like that, they have certain parts of their attributes or their personality or something is enhanced.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if that was like, because I mean, if he came up with it and decided to do it,
dude,
I think it's that, or it could also be, if I'm not mistaken, again, I'm not like researched on this at all, but PTSD, I think also can cause stuff like that. So maybe it was just that. Maybe it's just to show, we
don't know what his other cases were.
We don't know anything. They don't really give him a backstory except for he solved every case.
Yeah.
That's it.
But were they solved well or were they horrible,
Yeah, for sure. And so it's just it gave, like literally, it's just blinking. And it gave way more depth to his character for some reason, which was really awesome.
It was really cool.
And a couple other things that gave him some depth. His neck tattoo. You just don't see a lot of detectives with a neck tattoo. And he had another tattoo somewhere or a couple other ones. And so it's just like, I think it hardens him a little bit too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Cool,
and you're like, oh, maybe he was like in a gang or, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying people with neck tattoos are all in gangs. But yeah, like, he just seems, and he has those moments where he gets super angry. He destroys his computer, all this stuff. And so I feel like they give his character a ton of depth without explaining anything.
No.
At all. It's just acting choices and direction and stuff like that. So
that was another point, just to go back to the story a little bit, where it felt so real and not like dumb. But when he destroys his whole desk and then all the pictures fall down and then he has the little RV car that he's just kind of like pushing on and then it just falls and then he sees the picture and pieces all together. It felt right. It didn't feel like a random sort of events that just led him to find this.
Yes.
They just did that so well.
Okay,
so Riddler guy is super good.
Yeah. Yes.
Viola Davis. Viola?
Dude, sorry. I got to go back to him real quick.
You're fine.
The Riddler guy. That's a hard, I don't know anything about acting, but that's a hard character to play because he's both terrified.
Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah.
Mentally very young.
Yeah.
Just like all of these things, but also kind of crazy because he's like choking his dog.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like, there's just like all these little different parts of his personality. That's got to be a really difficult thing to like piece together and
especially
display.
In that interrogation scene where he literally almost says nothing, but you're feeling him
absolutely.
Because of just his facial
You're
expressions.
terrified of the detective.
Yeah.
Basically. Because of him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So good.
He did great. Anyway, go on.
Her acting was really good when she was crying.
Yeah.
I put down Jake Gyllenhaal's smile laugh. And I can't remember where that was at, but he has like this, I think it's when he's talking to like his boss or something, and he has this smile laugh, and it was so like good and creepy, but I can't remember the point. Okay, I think my star of the show was the part when Hugh Jackman sees the sock that is his daughter's.
Yeah.
That was like the heartbreak, like
that's like the Ewan McGregor impossible phone call.
Yes. Yeah. So good. Oh, and then the other thing, that whole scene where Jake Gyllenhaal is driving to the emergency room and he gets out and he slips out of the car because it's been snowing and it's icy on the ground.
Yeah.
It was just so fluid and it felt so right. And he just him slipping out of it and then just like immediately getting up, but like
so here's the thing. Here's what makes this movie so good, because Craig and I were talking about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
We were talking about things where it's like, why didn't this, like,
I know.
realistically, why didn't this happen? Or why didn't this happen? And I think movies and TV shows and things that go just that little bit of extra yard to make things really realistic, that's what puts them over the top towards like the more elite movies, because there's nothing there that's like, hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why didn't this happen? Or
Yeah.
why didn't this happen? Or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's like we're talking about with Nobody. The one fault in that is the garage door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
And then everything else is just like, oh, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, they just...
There
on
was so
every
much thought in this
scene
movie.
and every detail and everything felt so well thought out that it just... I guess it gives you so much more room to jump into the movie and not be distracted by anything, even subconsciously. Because sometimes you notice things you don't really like actively think about it, but it's just something that lets your brain know this is a movie. This didn't have like almost any of those.
No.
So super solid. Super, super solid. Dude, what are you going to give the acting?
What are you going to give the
I'm
acting?
going to give the acting 200.
That's what me too. It's
Yeah,
200. I don't know how you could give it anything other than
there
that.
there was not a single point where I was like, yeah, that ain't it. Okay, wait, tell me one more time. The Bobby guy.
Yeah.
Who is he? What's he from?
He's in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he's in Oppenheimer. But
And he
what
was
else is
a
he in?
Suicide Squad. He's Spot.
No, I'll tell you what this guy's from. Oh,
no.
my gosh. And you haven't seen the movie. Darn you.
What's it from?
He's from the first two Ant-Man movies.
Oh.
He's the Russian friend.
Oh, really?
Who talks about Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, come at night. Dude, that's who he is. See, because he looked so much... I knew it was Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looks like... And again, what's the character's name in Falcon and the Winter? Well, also in Civil War, but I remember him from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay, they look similar-ish. Who does he play?
It's Z.
Zemo.
Zemo. That's what it is.
It doesn't even say it on here, but I just remembered.
No.
They look kind of similar, but yeah. Oh, it's Bubba.
So he's
it's
an
the Baba
Ant-Man
Yaga
and he's
guy.
in DC. Suicide Squad.
Dang, good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
He was really good in Suicide Squad as Spot. That's the new one, not the
Gotcha.
old crap one.
Gotcha. The new one where the only thing I know about it is something about a shark. That's the only thing I've ever heard about that movie. Is there somebody 3 years ago was like, "There's something." I don't remember.
And John Cena is one of the superheroes.
And John Cena. Well, yeah, Mr. Cena. But you can't see in the whole movie. No. Okay, the score and the sound.
Okay.
So my two notes basically are the sound punch that was off, and then I thought it was maybe just my headphones, but then it also happened on my TV. There were certain points where Hugh Jackman would yell and the audio would clip and distort. And I was like,
yes. And that was on my TV too.
I don't like that. That is one thing that pulls me out of it. Because that's one thing that tells my brain this is
not real.
Fake, right?
Yeah.
This is not real.
What was that scene?
So there was one when he's in a car and he yells. And then I couldn't remember what the other one was.
I remember.
No, sorry, not in the car. It's when the detective, I think, comes to his house for the first time. And he's like, "No, shut up and listen to me."
Oh, yeah.
When he does that,
yeah,
that's where I noticed it. I was like, "Oh, wow, that clipped." And then it clipped one more time later when he yelled. And I was like, "Huh,
I don't know if I noticed it twice. I definitely noticed it one time. Because I was like, oh, hey, I never noticed that.
Yeah, it seemed kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have anything about the music. I do remember the music being good, not phenomenal, but good.
And it was the same song for most of it, just that ominous music.
Yeah.
And then I did write down music during the car scene was good. So
yes, yeah, the music during the car scene was good.
I don't remember what it was, but
yeah.
It was fine. I mean, there was nothing like, oh my gosh, this is insane.
Yeah.
Or creepy ha-has like in Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah.
But it portrayed the ominous, uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
But there was that audio clip.
Yeah. What are you going to give it?
I don't know. I guess it's just average. 155.
155?
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll give it a 160.
Okay.
Music was good, but yeah, just those couple things. And then there wasn't anything sound-wise that stuck out to me in a good way.
No,
if that makes sense.
And the only sound that stuck out to me was acting sounds, like freaking the Riddler guy screaming when the water turned on. It was
right. Oh,
terrible.
that's terrifying. That's so bad. So yeah, I'm docking it some points in the sound category, which is sad because that's going to lower this movie's total by quite a bit. But alas, they needed to turn the gain down on their microphones.
That's why we have this.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby. Shut up.
I love saying that. Can I guess what your vibe is? Actually, the fact that you just looked somewhere else. Just kidding.
Well, I wrote down vibe.
Yeah.
And I said, why didn't they just finish the ending?
Yeah.
But I already talked about that in
Touche, but still.
That is vibe. $199.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get. Because I was like, 200. And then I was like, oh, no, wait, the whistle.
Yeah.
Because again, I think 30 seconds more or 30 seconds less is the way to do that movie.
Know.
Okay, what do you think you gave the movie?
938.
948 is what you gave it.
948?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I'm going to say I gave it slightly higher than you.
It's just a little bit higher.
955. 955.
I can guess 954.
954.
Yes!
You got it, bro. Got it.
I didn't get mine, but I got yours.
Dag nabbit. But it is a vibe.
It's
a
good
very, very,
movie,
very good movie. So few flaws in this movie.
I was rewatching it and I was like, yeah, he's got to love this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a polarizing movie. Like, nobody's going to watch this and be like, nah, that ain't
Actually, when this came out.
Oh, I was going to say, what?
Yeah, when this came out, it was getting like really good reviews everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know if you've heard of IGN. They do a lot of video game stuff, but they also do movies. Mm-hmm. The reviewer gave it a 5.
Out of 10?
Out of 10. And everybody in the comments was like, what? And he was like, oh, it's just this really dark for no reason and all this.
Dark for no reason? Dark like, because your kids got kidnapped and drugged at the age of like 9?
And I was like, dude, what are you talking? This is perfect.
That's dumb. Whoever watched that movie shouldn't have been the person reviewing the movie.
No, they shouldn't have been. So people still bring that up when they give a really high review, because they gave like The Last Jedi like a 9.7 out of 10. So they always bring up Prisoners as a 5 and Last Jedi as 9.7.
It's like Ben Shapiro. It's like Ben Shapiro reviewing the Barbie movie. It's like, you're not qualified, dude. Like, if you're crapping on the Barbie movie, it's because you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You're one of those old people who like just don't get it, you know. Do you know box office stuff about this?
I don't.
Ooh. Dang. 2 big names in a pretty big time in both of their careers.
Yeah, but you didn't ever hear of it.
No, but we've kind of discussed that I never heard of a movie before we started this podcast. So
no, I know, but
generally the movies I hadn't heard of did not make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That much is true.
What are you going to guess? I don't think it was limited release.
Dude, So my guess is they made this movie for super cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Probably cost them like $30 million.
Yeah.
$30 million.
And that's probably just mainly acting.
Yeah. I'd probably say $20 million. They got 4 big actors. Well, 3 big actors. 2 big actors.
Viola Davis wasn't really big
no,
before
probably
then,
just those 2 main ones were the big ones at the time. So they probably had a budget of like $18 to $20 million, I'd assume, because there's very limited special effects. I mean, all the special effects is makeup.
Yeah.
No CGI shots from what I can think of.
No.
At all.
No, I don't think there was any.
So
I'm sure they made
I don't
money.
think, my guess is they did not hit 100 million.
Oh.
See, that's hard.
I know.
I'm going to go $91 million.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
$1 million. Did they hit 100 million? I feel like all my guesses recently have been so low. I'm going to have some hope, and I'm going to say it did 141.
141. Okay, let me write that down real quick. Craig going big on the numbies, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just said numbies. That was a mistake.
Numbies.
Congratulations.
What was it?
$122 million.
Oh, okay.
That's decent.
What was the budget?
$46 million.
Wow, that's actually more expensive than I thought.
It is a little more expensive than I thought.
That might have just been Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal.
It honestly might have
Probably
been.
taken a good
It really, really might have been.
chunk of it.
And dude, it split close to completely evenly domestic and international.
Oh, okay.
61 million almost exactly domestic, and then 61,124,000 international. Like
crap.
literally is 50-50.
That's insane.
Which is really interesting. I am curious just real quick to see what the actors got paid.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman probably got more
Yeah.
because I think he was a bigger name at that point than, I mean, he still is a bigger name than Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to really find it.
Yeah, you might not be able to.
Sometimes it's really hard. And I don't even know who what studio
Oh, I don't know. I know
Did
it's the
this
Dune
movie.
director.
was this an indie movie? If it I don't know.
I mean, I know people that heard of it, but it definitely wasn't huge.
Yeah.
But what was playing at the beginning? Was it the what's the, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that.
The film reel one that's like slightly crooked.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Just the thingy things. It's like they swish, and it's got the one, and then it's like at the angle. And it's
Oh, the ladders. The ones at the beginning of
it's
Lord of
a
the
film
Rings.
reel. Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that like a film reel?
Maybe it is. I always thought of them as ladders.
Well, I thought of as ladders too.
I just remember
but
them every freaking day of my childhood watching
Don't
Lord of
they
the
have
Rings.
don't they have the little circles on the film reels?
It's totally possible. Okay, hold on.
I always thought it was ladders too.
Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal's Prisoners wins with 20. No, that's not what I want to know. I want to know how much they made. Tell me
They made
how much they made.
$5.10.
I don't know. I'm never going to find it. Sorry, guys, for boring you to death.
Dang it.
Craig, you got the dub, bruh.
Yes. Finally.
You dubbed up. Oh, and I got the W on dub. Don't worry, darling. Dude,
Shut
okay,
up.
hold on real quick.
Oh, don't.
Okay.
I think you're ahead.
Mission Impossible 7 is done,
Yeah.
and I won it, right?
Yeah.
Is it done?
I'm assuming it's done.
Box Office Mojo.
Mission Impossible 7.
All right, MI7, 563.
Okay.
So I won that. Got to put these down. Craig is butthurt because he can't seem to win anymore.
I can't, dude.
And then Barbie will say you won.
Yep. Both times, actually.
That's actually true, huh?
2 W's. Please.
Dude, Barbie, 1.4 million.
Oh.
And out on streaming now
Oh, okay.
since yesterday.
So it's definitely not going to hit 1.5 or 1.6.
No, but still significant dough.
Oh, yeah. Number 1 of the year.
Okay.
And probably will be the number 1.
Okay, the scores, people. Here we go. Craig has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shoot, I lost count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 so far. And I have 1, 2, 3,
38 of these.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm up by 1.
Dang it.
I say every 50 episodes,
Every year.
winner take all.
Okay.
And then we reset and winner take none.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Shut up.
Winner take all. And
Winner
then we
take
reset and we do it again.
Winner take all, loser take
Let the
none.
record show in video this time. Sam still hasn't gotten me something for Avatar.
I have not, but I
So.
super owe you something because
Yeah.
you hit it right on the
I
head.
hit it right on the nail.
It's off
in
by
the
$10
coffin.
million, you guys. That's
I think it was 20 million now.
kind of stupid. Okay,
Super educated guess.
you guys,
I did all the planning.
here's the deal. Next week, we don't know what we're doing yet.
No.
We would like to let you know a little more in advance what we're doing so you guys can watch the movie in preparation for the episode. Because that'd be the kind thing to do. So in 2 weeks, we're going to do The Creator, which is a brand new movie. We are going to be a day late, probably a day or two-ish late on that episode.
Yeah.
So it'll probably come out Saturday the 30th.
Yes.
Maybe October the 1st.
Yeah.
But that's my most anticipated movie of the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Is there another one that you're looking forward to? You've talked about Wonka with me. Are you looking forward to Wonka?
No.
Or are you kind of like meh?
No.
I'm kind of meh on that movie
Yeah.
too. I think it's
Is
going to make
Napoleon this year
Oh, I think so.
with Joaquin Phoenix?
I've
That
seen
would
a
be
lot of posters up for that, so I would have kind of assumed so.
That would be my other most anticipated. I'm excited for Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm holding my breath that it's good.
November is Napoleon.
Oh, okay.
November 22nd. So
So that one looks good.
that's like Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. Like those three movies I'm excited for. The Creator, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Napoleon.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably see Wonka because we got to go see Wonka.
I think Wonka, I'm going to say it right now, doesn't count as my guess, Craig.
$5 million at the box office.
Wonka is going to make like $700 or $800 million. It's going to make a crazy amount of money.
I think it'll make a crazy amount of money.
It's a Christmas
if it's
movie.
pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a Christmas movie, but it's like at Christmas time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's like the 26th or
and
something.
is anything else coming out at that time?
No.
Did you know Christmas is like one of the biggest days?
It is. That's why Avatar is always right next to
Courtney's
Christmas.
family goes to movies on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Which I never grew up doing.
Yeah.
At all, because I thought it was so weird.
Yeah.
And then I got married and she's like, we go to movies on Christmas Day. And I was like,
That's weird.
that's super weird.
But I'm
But I
okay
guess
with it.
what else do people want to do on Christmas Day, honestly? Because like open presents for 1 hour and then what do you
Go
do
see a
besides
movie and then have Chinese.
Yes, have Chinese food for sure. We eat pizza. We eat homemade pizza, but Chinese is good too. Well, man.
Yeah. That's why Avatar is always right next to Christmas.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the day where that's a Star Wars movie again.
I know.
And hopefully it's good.
And hopefully it's a good one.
The next one might be a Dave Filoni Star Wars movie, who's the guy who's making Ahsoka, and who's the only person who's good at making Star Wars right now, apparently.
Hey, I'm 3 episodes in and I'm liking it.
Okay. My phone. Oh my gosh. I have my watch. Okay, my sister texted me today because I texted her and I was like, hey, you're watching Ahsoka, because she also really likes Star Wars. And are you kidding? Her text isn't going to show up on my watch. Oh, yeah, okay.
No. I was like,
so,
no.
I'm texting her and she says, yes, I'm watching Ahsoka, but I haven't seen last night's episode yet. And I said, oh, okay. Well, watch it and then we'll talk. And she said, okay, is my brain going to be blown out of my butt? And I sent her the gif of Michael Scott saying, I really can't say, but yes. And she texts me and says, I just watched it. Holy crap. So that's how Ahsoka's going so far. Can't wait for you to finish those next 2 episodes.
I know.
So we can actually talk about it.
I know. I'm sorry.
But yeah.
All I'm doing is looking at plot holes in the show.
Yeah, Craig's coming up to me. He's like, why, when they jump in space, is it wrong? So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with this right now.
Why can't they just throw their lightsabers and have them fly everywhere?
My goodness. Anyway,
Okay.
thank you all so much for joining us
Yeah.
for today's episode.
Go watch it.
Go watch this movie.
It's really good.
It's a good one.
Even if you listen to spoilers, you
Yeah.
still go to watch it.
And if you spend like your October watching like a lot of horror, thriller, suspenseful movies, this could be a good one. It's not quite in the realm of Halloween-y type movies, but if you just kind of want to be like
a thriller,
thrilled and anxious during a movie, this could be the one for you.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, that has been Running Extraterrestrial Arcs, contouring trigonometry in open nipples. Toodles. I make easy. We will see you guys next week.
Open nipples.
Dude, I don't know. I'm not in charge. Can I have that? Give me that.
Oh, yeah.